Today, from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, this is Madden Football on
And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. Taken at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Cowboys taking the field on offense, and for a seventh season, it's Dak Prescott who brings them out.
And not only was it great to see Dak Prescott make his return in 2021, it was even better to see him playing the best ball of his career. He didn't lead Dallas to just a division title and its best record in 6 years. Dallas also led the league in yards and points, the first time it has led in both since 1971.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Again, it's Elliott. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 54 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Brett Maher now for the Cowboy field goal. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Here comes the Los Angeles offense and the man in charge of it in his 2nd season with the team, 14th overall in what's been an impressive career, Matthew Stafford. On 1st down, they'll start out with Akers. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely frees up your guys elsewhere. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough. No score after 1 on EA Sports. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. This is taken at about the 14. $34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Bobby Wagner, the all-pro, in on the tackle.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
On play action, Prescott. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald with a sack.
What we would consider generational for most players, we simply take for granted at this point with Aaron Donald. 7th straight All-Pro season last year, complete with 12.5 sacks and a career high in tackles. And who could forget the sequence he had down the stretch to help Los Angeles.
Under pressure, they got him again. And oh no, they spike it here. That was 4th down. So they spike it on 4th down, and they will lose the football. So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now, all right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Now Stafford. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch?
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So after a scoreless first quarter, we at least finally get some points on the board.
But it can't be what either of us expected, can it?
No, the safety's not what you expect for the first points of the game, but one of the goose eggs is gone. Here's Williams to return. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 24, Stafford. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Here's Stafford. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Here's Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
As he gets the first down, let's take a look at what Cooper Kupp did last season because it was one of the greatest years for a receiver in NFL history. 145 catches, 1,947 yards, both second most in a season all time. Truly an MVP caliber performance for the Super Bowl champs, and he capped it off in the Super Bowl himself as the MVP.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Well, the Rams going to take over late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Stafford's throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Robinson here. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Stafford to the right side and complete to Jefferson. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. To the air again, Stafford. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. The final shot before the break, Stafford. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, well, time is of the essence. We breeze through halftime, and we are ready for the second half. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. A third down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Stafford got an open man, finding Jefferson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big play that time on the catch and run. 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Down to the 25. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Now Stafford. Looking underneath, he's got Akers. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Throwing again is Stafford. And he's got it. That's Cup for a Ram touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams are an extra point away from taking the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with Cooper Kupp on the receiving end of the touchdown pass. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Cowboys. Now, people still trying to get back to their seats from the concession stand here at the start of the 3rd quarter, and boom, we got points on the board.
And you just identified why the bulk of stadiums have increased presence in the concession areas, right? TVs, loudspeakers, so people can still follow the game. And right now, they're bummed out that they missed that big return to start this half.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And they are 3 for 3 on two-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. And they're able to ground it in there on the two-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that two-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for two, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for two early? That's what people are wondering about.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They are down by a single possession here, 16-9, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing is Stafford. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st down, Stafford here. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Kupp. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 41-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Stafford. And that is incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will stay at a 7-point game. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They go to Elliott again. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that makes this a two-score ball game. And, you know, the way this thing has been going, Charles, 2 scores kind of feels like 3 or 4 scores.
Yeah, it's a great observation. It's been a heck of a battle, hasn't it? And points have been at a premium throughout this game. So you have to wonder, is this going to be too much for them to overcome?
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. A give up the middle to Akers. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. Here it's 3rd and 2. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. I mean, what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Stafford now to throw. Across the middle, and this pass complete to Cooper Kupp. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Again, it's Stafford. Looking for Cooper Kupp again, 2 in a row. And quickly they get to the line. On second and very short, Stafford. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now it's Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 41. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 138 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Elliott going to get it again on second down. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And a solid run down inside the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Inside give to Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one a first down pickup of 8. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Los Angeles Rams and the Cleveland Browns. Well, we thought this could get interesting. Here's interesting, an onside kick to start this thing. Oh, and did the Browns get it? I think so, yes. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Brissett going to go to the air right away. That's caught by the tight end, Harrison Bryant. He is out of bounds inside the 35. 19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found it.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt, 33 yards. And the Browns go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Going right back to Akers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On the handoff, it's Akers. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him on their opening drive of the contest, and it's now 1st and goal. They'll run here with Henderson, and he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Darrell Henderson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Rams respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. They'll try and run it here. And this play is not going to work. He stopped short of the goal line, and this will remain a 7-6 ball game. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Here comes Felton to bring it out of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. 25 yards that time.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Into the air once more, it's Brissett. It's caught, Cooper. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams 16. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Second and goal from the 6 this time. He's going to keep this again. Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. Brissett sets to throw it. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal. They'll run for it. Chubb. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb punching it in from a yard away. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is up to 8. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And they got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
A first down throw for Brissett. And this incomplete. An excellent play downfield on the football. Might have had a shot to pick it off even. But it's second down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field. And really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. On second down, here's the option. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
He's got his receiver, Cooper. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Brissett now. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Brissett. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And the Rams are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football.
A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Brissett's throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones. Touchdown, Browns! Donovan Peoples-Jones, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. And the hands team for the Rams able to secure the football. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right
This is a special presentation of EA Sports from the Coliseum in Oakland, our tribute to the coach, the John Madden Legacy Game. I'm Brandon Gaudin here to take you through the proceedings, and coming up, we're going to tell the story of a man who was truly larger than life and whose impact on the sport of football, certainly it's going to live on for decades and decades to come. Now, we've assembled a couple of rosters featuring some of Coach's favorite players from both yesterday and today, and Coach himself will be on the sidelines for both squads, trying to motivate his guys to victory. And I'm joined now by my good friend Charles Davis. CD, your thoughts on John Madden and what he meant to the sport he loves so much?
For me, Brandon, it's the word joy. He brought that to the game of football.
The Coliseum back to its original 70s glory. What a scene in the East Bay. And we're underway in the John Madden Legacy Game. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. He's at the 40, 20. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, NFC. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will get in to make it 8-0. Tell you what, they're not messing around. You get the quick touchdown, and then you go for 2 to go up 8-0 here on the road.
In a sense, they hit him with a big shot right away. You don't throw a jab after you throw the haymaker, right? Go ahead and go for 2. They did. They're in control.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So it's the NFC stars who will get the ball first. And, Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coach on each sideline. So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden, this is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as a coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL and then in the NFL in the early 70s. Coach was a guy who was ahead of his time. The Raiders were one of the first teams to have mini camps, one of the first to film practice because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kevin Green. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now Brady. Open man is Andre Reed, complete. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here's Hester. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. So as we mentioned at the top, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And, you know, it's very fitting that we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but also because this was where he spent his formative years.
Yeah, he grew up over Daly's.
Touchdown! A big play there. 52 yards. And the NFC strikes quickly for 6.
Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. No run back here for Hall, and this will come out to the 25. Now the AFC making their way out, and it's one of Coach's favorites, another local guy, Tom Brady, who will be at the controls. And boy, Coach always admired the way number 12 could run an offense, and especially his ability to stay calm under pressure.
Tom Brady is a guy who's always looking downfield. He never looks at the rush. He hangs in the pocket, and he makes a throw. He's a cool guy. He's a tough guy. Let me tell you, there's no one calmer in the pocket than Tom Brady.
And I know that Coach has a great appreciation for Tom Brady, who turned 45 back on August 3rd, because Coach coached a guy like him in George Blanda, who played a long time in the NFL. In this game, it features legends and active players. Tom Brady qualifies as both.
Kevin Green. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, if the goal is to get back into this game, the offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. On the return, Hester. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the NFC is going to have a short field as they take over 1st and 10. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Now, Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st-round draft pick back in 1958. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp. Actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles. You and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles with quarterback Norm Van.
And he is in. Touchdown NFC. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead.
So the 2-point conversion trend continues, at least as far as trying those goes. They've attempted them after all 3 touchdowns, CD, and converted now 2 of them.
They're not just dipping their toe in the water, are they? I mean, they're committed to going for 2 points, and 2 out of 3, now with a 22-0 lead. In a sense, they're a little bit ahead of the curve, because normally it would be 21, wouldn't it?
And with the way their defense is playing, I don't know if it matters if they do convert any of these.
The AFC offense set to take their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 score. And now off to the races down the right side. And touchdown. Andre Reed, 77 yards. And the AFC able to cut into the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
And there's been a Terry now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here comes Devin Hester bringing it out. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series.
There he goes left side. And he is in. Touchdown NFC. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
They're going to try and run, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I have to admit, I love the excitement of the two-point try. You know, to see what's going to happen, and it happens pretty quickly, doesn't it? You get an answer, and in this case, it's unsuccessful for the guys trying it.
Completely unrelated. I just realized that I stole both of your pins in this last game. My bad, partner.
Hey, that's okay. Well, and just in the time they went for 2.
The offense for the AFC set to go now. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
That's the Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor doing what he does best. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Now a give running left. It's Bettis. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, 1967, Brendan. Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point. We had not merged totally with the NFL. And Coach Madden, he paid dividends almost immediately. Helped the Raiders win the AFL title in 1968. And that meant a date with the Green Bay Packers in what was now known as Super Bowl II. But by 1969, at the age of 32, just 32, Brandon, John Madden assumed the mantle of head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And what a ride he, the Raiders, and the NFL were about to go on.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 182 yards rushing for him now in the afternoon as he continues to put a hurt on this defense. Right back to Sanders on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That good for 19 and a first down. Another run with Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Coming up in the second half, we'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs. But for now, we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The AFC going to get the football first here as we are back underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Kevin Green getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So now, Charles, to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42, he just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
Partner, he really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster. The ability to show the big picture, yet break it down into the details. That's what he did with his teams. That's what he did with the people. That way, he was simple to understand, yet insightful for viewers. And he did with that big personality that he had, one that connected with everyone.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. They'll try and run for it here with Dickerson. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Now a give left side. It's Dickerson. And he will carry this one in. Touchdown NFC. Eric Dickerson taking it in from a yard out as
his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on third down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
And that's why you put a Hall of Famer back there. He's in for 2 points.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the AFC set to go now. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So through 3 quarters of the John Madden legacy game, it's the NFC Stars and young Coach Madden on top. And we'll be back to the Coliseum after the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack. Reggie White in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now a toss play, Allen. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Well, that was a 3rd and long run, and to me, that was just a wave the white flag kind of a situation. Obviously, they don't want to risk the chance of throwing it downfield and risking a turnover in this section of the field.
And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
And some room to... And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 20. It's a big play that time for the NFC. 83 yards on the ground. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll run with Sanders. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
They'll try and run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you... yeah, it's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurting this one. No, okay.
The AFC offense set to take their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Back near his goal line, here's Brady. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Taking it about the 16. And they are going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And that's why you put a Hall of Famer back there. He's in for 2 points.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense for the AFC set to go now. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
After the sack on first down, Brady. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line.
So it's a win here for the NFC. Just an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden. And before we go, one final message. And for all of us at EA Sports, this one's for you, Coach.
I just say this, I thank you all very much. This has been the sweetest ride of them all.